Assalamu alaikum. After reading about 20 books on psychology and self-development, I'm just looking at my shelf now. So specifically books on self-development with psychology, I've been able to kind of figure out a principle that I think would be really, really useful to you. My promise to you is that at the end of the video, you're going to know exactly how to change your behaviors, right? So the things that you're currently doing, and then have a vision for the future and start building, right? Have building blocks set towards that future, okay? So without any further ado, I've got 15 slides I want to walk you through, so let's just jump into it. Let's make my head small. Okay, so I'm calling this man's vision, right? And it's my guide, Fedi's guide to becoming a new man. So, a man who looks back is a man who lives in the past. The importance of this quote isn't just the fact that you're living in the past, it's that you repeat the past. I have no clue who said this. I think I heard it from John Gabb at some point, so shout out to John Gabb, but I have no idea who said this. So, this is why you're stuck. Let me quickly move my head to the top right. You base your behaviors on the past, meaning change is harder than it needs to be. You're holding on to things that no longer exist, so you make them exist again. And you look backwards, not forwards, which means you end up falling backwards. Now, when I say these 3 points, again, I'm not attacking you, okay? I've been there. And what I'm saying is that everything that you look back onto, you end up repeating. Because our mind ends up just simply repeating the things that we previously experienced. That's why you have these like negative cycles of activities. If you, let's say, were to sleep late the night before, you could say to yourself, oh, I always sleep late, right? You might not realize that you're saying this to yourself, but you might say, oh, I always sleep late. Or last night I ended up sleeping late. By you fixating on this thing, whether you realize it or not, you'll end up repeating it in some way. Because the brain always wants to be proved right. So if you had a previous behavior, the brain wants you to continue that behavior because it wants to be proved right if you keep focusing on it, okay? So this is my story, and I hope you'll find this relatable in some way, is that I used to have an agency, right? Maybe you didn't have an agency yourself, but you'll understand where I'm going with this. I had it in the dental niche, and when it came to doing outreach, I'd expect the exact same thing to repeat itself again and again and again. The same objections, the same outcome, which is no meetings booked, the same resistance that I felt to doing outreach, so the same feeling of not wanting to do it, the same feeling of pain, the same feeling of procrastination, and this made it incredibly hard to do outreach in the first place. And if you guys are in SMMA, you know, the only thing anyone says is just do outreach, just do more outreach, okay, and you'll get your first client or whatever. Now, it wasn't until I had understood that I was repeating the same thing again and again that I was able to kind of break free. And you have to realize that realization or awareness is literally 80% of the game. 80% of the game. Once you're aware of something, you can basically just diagnose it and look to change it. So imagine going to the doctors, okay, and if the doctor you walked in and the doctor was like, yep, I'm going to prescribe you this and I'm going to prescribe you that. You'd be like, well, hold on a second. You don't even know what I'm dealing with. You don't know if I have a cough, if it's dry, if it's a wet cough, etc., etc. So it's the same with you. For you to prescribe the necessary things, you have to first become aware. You can't just follow blindly onto something that I say or in something that someone else says, especially something that someone else you'd probably look up to say. You probably don't look up to me, right? But someone that you look up to says. First of all, you have to be aware of your problem. You have to be aware of where you're going wrong and then find the solution to it and then prescribe yourself the solution. So my thoughts didn't change and therefore my behavior didn't either. Right? This is what it looks like. Props to Charlie Morgan. Your beliefs and your thoughts end up turning into actions. Okay? And then your reality confirms these beliefs or confirms these actions. Sorry, confirms these beliefs and confirms these thoughts. And then it ends up repeating itself. So for example, if you believe, pardon me, if you believe that you read the Quran, for example, for me, right? You read the Quran very slowly. You will keep reading it very slowly. It takes you 4 minutes to read a page. And then you're like, oh, there you go. I read it really slowly. I haven't even given myself the chance to improve, right? Even if I keep reading more and more and more, just sheer quantity isn't necessarily going to help. Maybe there's a new strategy I have to use. Maybe there's a certain way of reading that's going to make it faster. Maybe 4 minutes isn't slow and it just is good, right? And it's the same with you. If again, we use the example of waking up late. If you keep telling to yourself, oh, I keep waking up late. I'm just someone who wakes up late. Then your reality will be that because your actions cannot go against your thoughts, okay? And therefore, you've confirmed your reality. You've confirmed these thoughts and then just keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating, right? So I knew I had to look forward towards who I wanted to be and not the person I am right now. And looking back, I wish someone had told me that the person I was didn't really exist anymore. The only thing that existed was the person I am right now and the person I want to become. And before changing any actions, it meant I had to change my thoughts and beliefs. And these were the results. They're not amazing results, right? But I was able to book some appointments for my SMMA. Okay, I remember getting the appointment with Adrian. These were when I was cold calling in Canada, and I got Carly, and I got Adrian, I got an office manager, I got Sherry, I got Caroline, I got Nicole, I got Sylvie, who ended up cancelling, but who cares? And then I got Rosa, I got Sharon, I got Jackie, I got Louise, I got Rosa again, rescheduled, Hannah. I was very, very excited about this. Very, very excited, because finally the results started coming in. And I'm sure you're in a situation right now where you want those results to be coming in for you. Whether you've got your business, whether you're doing school, whatever it is, you want those results to be coming in. And this is what I think gaming is based. I'm joking, I don't think gaming is based. When I was a gamer, I used to be addicted to this game called Destiny 2, which I'm sure you guys have heard of maybe. I literally used to have 12-hour gaming sessions, doing raids and missions, all that gay stuff, right? I used to be on Discord for like 6 hours looking for people to play with, and then I'd do the missions by myself. I'd solo all of them. I was that much of a sweat. I used to solo things that would usually take like a group of 4 or 5 or 6 to do it, right? That much of a sweat. And gaming does have one thing correct about life though. If there's one thing about gaming that's correct, it's that there's character creation. You have to create your character. You have to define exactly how you want your character to be. And the more you can define it, the better you can end up adhering, so the better you end up sticking to the character you've created. Like in Skyrim, right? One of my favourite games, I think I've got like 3,000 hours in Skyrim or something ridiculous like that. So in Skyrim, you end up creating, obviously, don't change your race, right? Don't don't vision yourself being black if you're white, or Arab if you're, Indian or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just stick to your race for now, okay? Ignore that part. But you have to create your own character. And just as if it was Skyrim or any other game where you create your character, you have to create the man that you want to be, based on your looks, your strength, the clothes you want to wear, the behavior that you have. And this might sound weird, but you're going to have to roleplay as your new character. Now, role-playing, like I said, it's going to sound weird, but imagine if you were in a situation where you could test out something new. You defined about your future self that he's very, very confident. What could you do? Maybe when you get asked a question in class, you're the first one to put your hand up. Maybe at the gym, you end up asking more people how many sets they have left. And instead of just walking away, you ask them, hey, do you mind if I work in with you? Right? Anything, basically anything for you to just put yourself in the shoes of the person that you want to be, and act as if you were that already. So basically just roleplay. Just roleplay as someone that you're not. But you are going to become that person with enough roleplay, obviously. But just roleplay, okay? And the life that you want isn't going to come out of nowhere. It's going to come from you. It has to come from you who's going to create it. And it's going to materialize once you become the person who can achieve the goals. And again, keyword on who. You have to become the person who can achieve the goal. You don't just make $1 million. Like $1 million is just to pop into your lap. Right? Allahu Alam, it could do. Maybe God wills it. But most likely, it's that you're the person who's capable of making $1 million. And therefore, you're capable of thinking a certain way. You've got certain skills, you've got certain traits, etc., etc. So who? Who is an incredibly important question to answer. Whatever we internally think, we end up turning into action. This is called autosuggestion. So autosuggestion is a thought that keeps getting repeated in your mind, a thought that you keep having, is going to want to materialize itself into action at some point. If I told you, right, this is just a little test, don't necessarily bother doing it right now, right? But if I told you to just sit down and imagine you putting your hand over your head, right? Imagine doing this, or like doing this, right? And you keep thinking about doing it. You're not doing it yet, but you keep thinking about doing it again and again and again and again and again. You keep thinking, I'm going to put my hand over my head, I'm going to put my hand over my head, I'm going to tap my head. At some point, you're literally going to feel your arm want to do it. Like you're going to feel the muscles be ready to do it. So the longer you hold on a thought, the more likely it is to materialize. That's why you've always had that moment where you've been thinking about the bad habit for so long and you ended up just going back and doing it. Because you've had it in your mind the entire time. And when I was trying to quit gaming, it was so hard because all I could think of, like a period of 2-3 weeks, was literally just gaming. I remember at the time I was in university in France and I was literally just, all the classes, I was just thinking of Destiny 2. I was just thinking of gaming the entire time. I couldn't do it, right? I didn't even bring my PC, I didn't have anything to play Destiny 2 on. And that was the kind of like the good thing about going cold turkey, is that even if your thoughts are that, if you don't have access to it, you're not going to do it. And then once those thoughts disappeared, alhamdulillah, thank God, I don't even think about gaming anymore. So whatever we internally think, we end up turning into action, okay? And whatever we act, we end up creating. So we think, we act, and then create. Think, act, create. Your character has to be based on your future. Okay, so this is the important thing you have to remember. Stop thinking about who you are right now and stop thinking about who you were yesterday or a year ago or 2 months ago. Stop thinking about that. Only look forward. Look forward as to who you want to be in the future, not the person you are right now or the person that you were. So this is your action step for the video. If you decide to stop watching here and you don't do the action step, you're an idiot, right? You're a pussy. But you need to create your character based on these criteria. For now, we're not going to go too deep, right? Obviously, you can go deeper. I know you're smart enough to go deeper, but I've just given you these very basic steps. And I want you to write a sentence for each one. How does your character, how does your future self behave around others? What do these people think of him? And then how much money is he making? That can literally just be a figure, right? You can even go deeper. This is a little tip. If you have a specific way of making money that you want, just write that down as well. I'm making money through sales. I'm making money with my business. I'm making money in dropshipping. I'm making money in this. I'm making money in that. And how close is he to God? How close is your character to God? Is he incredibly close? Does he feel at peace every day? And what does he look like? His physique, the facial hair, etc., like what he wears. You see, once you've done this, you have a better idea of who you want to become, first of all, which is perfect. And secondly, you have a better idea of what actions to take. Because, for example, if you look at how close is he to God, and then you think to yourself, yeah, my future self is incredibly close to God. And then you look at your current actions, maybe you don't pray on time, right? Maybe you don't read the Quran or you don't read the Bible very often. Maybe you're just kind of having all these negative thoughts and you keep sinning again and again and again and you're not repenting properly. Well, now you know what actions to take. Obviously, you knew beforehand, but now you have something to look forward to. That is the point. You forget about the past and you look forward to something. You look forward to the person you want to become. Forget about what happened before. Forget about it completely. Only look forward. Only look forward, Habibi. That is it. Look forward into the future that you have, inshallah. Right? God willing, look forward into the future that you want to build. And then you'll end up building it rather than repeating everything that ended up happening before. Okay? And basically, I'm just going to go over, if you didn't know who I am, my name is Fedi Lecamus, right? And I've worked with 30 God-driven entrepreneurs and I've gotten them to get closer to God. I've helped them make a lot more money than they were making and basically just improve their physique and find some peace. And I want to be working with you because I want to get to 1,000. So I'm currently at 30 people that I've helped and I want to get to 1,000. And if you're interested in kind of seeing how everything I do works and, you know, there's a link in the bottom of the description. You don't have to click it, Habibi. I don't really care that much. I don't really mind. But if you do decide to click it, perfect. I'll see you in there. It is me trying to sell you the community that I created and my coaching is a part of it. But if you're not interested, no worries at all. I don't mind. But anyways, Jazakallah al khair. God bless you all from the bottom of my heart. I'm very grateful for everyone who watches this. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you, inshallah, in the next video.